Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Helen Marley and I'm here to talk about one of my favorite subjects, Succeeding at the Piano, second edition and the all-in-one approach, the why and the how. Whether you have been using Succeeding at the Piano for a while or are ready to begin to use this pedagogically strong and musically engaging method right now, I will explain its very special features. So why use Succeeding at the Piano? Because 9 areas of study are taught throughout the series in a seamless, well-paced way. Each new concept is reviewed continuously so that students have a firm foundation in what they know before they move on to new concepts. These 9 areas of study are: number 1, rhythm; number 2, reading; number 3, fostering musicality from the very first week; number 4, healthy, natural technique; number 5, theory; number 6, oral skills or ear training, whichever one you call it; number 7, composition activities; 8, music history; and 9, attention given to how students should practice. In this particular video that you're watching right now, I will continue to answer basic questions about the method. We must start with the music. The music is what motivates children to learn, as you know. And in SATP, there is a fabulous mix of music: originals, classical, jazz, and folk. 7 different composers make these series interesting for all students. At the beginning of every level, each piece is listed with a composer who either arranged or composed the work. I wanted to give credit where it's due to everyone who worked on the music. The student pieces, as well as the accompanying duet parts, are absolutely terrific. And my goodness, I just love the music. So do my students, and all the feedback that we get from teachers is really exciting. Please observe me teach students in the prolific teaching videos on the Succeeding at the Piano FJH website. There will be a link at the bottom of this video for these teaching videos. I must tell you, I'm very excited about there being a digital format for Succeeding at the Piano, and it's through the app called Super Score. Please don't be nervous about using a digital app. I certainly was until just a few weeks ago. Of course, students won't have trouble. They don't mind experimenting. This Super Score practice app is demonstrated in another video by one of my university piano students. It's a wonderful way for students to practice with different tempos and with scintillating background accompaniments. So please look at the playlist below and you will find the video on how to use Super Score. And my student is in a nice kind of mustard yellow looking sweater. Succeeding at the Piano sets the perfect balance. It has a steady and well thought out flow of concepts, introduced at the right time, while keeping the tasks challenging enough to push students to reach a higher level of piano playing. I focused on each level of Succeeding at the Piano equally, making sure to cater to the musical and technical needs of each level of students. So whether they're beginner level, going through late beginner level, all the way through intermediate level. How can teachers select the correct level of Succeeding at the Piano for each student? One really good way is to review the pages at the beginning of every book. So for example, at the beginning of grade 1A, there's a lovely page of review. And these are the concepts that were taught in the previous level. So for example, many transfer students do not have a grasp of their basic guide notes. So if that were the case, I probably wouldn't have them use 1A. I would have them go to lesson and technique book preparatory and go to the middle of the book when students are learning their guide notes on the staff. If a student doesn't understand 5-finger patterns and chords, have the student start in grade 2A. So it's this kind of darker purple color. If transfer students have trouble with playing their octave scales or they don't know key signatures, I would have them start in grade 2B. If they really have trouble with 6/8 time signature, oh my goodness, then I would start them in grade 3, as well as octave minor scales. I always believe that prevention is far better than correction. So we err on the side of caution when placing a transfer student into the curriculum. Plus, there is so much to learn in succeeding at the piano that the transfer student will be fine with backtracking a bit so that they truly have a strong foundation. It's actually a good idea to call all remedial work for transfer students review work. It's a much more positive term for something they should know and haven't learned yet. If you have transfer students working on more advanced repertoire and you place them in a lower level of SATP to catch up on holes in their rhythm and their reading and their theory or their technique or any other aspect of their musical education, then this is pedagogically correct. How are concepts introduced in succeeding at the piano? They are introduced in a variety of ways. First of all, the sheer joy of the imaginative titles and illustrations enhance the learning experience. There's great motivating music throughout this particular wonderful method. Answering questions about the music, students are always asked at the beginning, at the end of every piece, good questions. Students use valuable practice strategies so that they know how to practice. Friendly icons help students remember how to listen and observe, as well as technique icons that guide students to know which physical gesture to use for a particular sound. And I do use discovery learning throughout succeeding at the piano so that students experience the sound and the new concept first, and then we give them the definition. The targeted age level of succeeding at the piano, whether it's the second edition or the all-in-one. Let's see, these two approaches are designed to begin the prep level with 6 and 7-year-olds, but certainly they can be used for transfer students and older students. I know many teachers use the preparatory level for 4 and 5-year-olds as well. For the all-in-one, this is a very good series for transfer students or for students who from the very beginning are very quick learners. It's also good for students who only have 30-minute lessons. If you start your students in the all-in-one approach and feel like they need more reinforcement, you can move them into the second edition when they reach the end of a level. And likewise, if you started a student in the second edition and you think, oh my gosh, my student could go much faster than this, at the end of the level, you can just move them on to the next level of the all-in-one. When the all-in-one is finished with all 7 levels, your students can easily move from the all-in-one 2C to the second edition grade 3. So I've been asked, what about the keyboard exploration? First of all, the students move in pre-reading pieces from octave to octave across the piano keys. They learn middle C approach when they start on the staff, and then they explore more hand position changes by using what I call almost C position approach soon afterwards. Students move their hands further outside of the C position and middle C position in grade 1A. So for example, students might use a different finger on a specific note. So if they're on middle C, my goodness, they might move away from middle C position so that their thumb is on a B or an A. Students learn to play pieces in D minor and F minor, and they also learn treble C position in grade 1A. You can see all of these hand position changes in the tutorials for each level of the method right here on this YouTube channel. So students learn second and third intervals by steps and skips in the preparatory level. There's a great deal of reinforcement of these 2 intervals as well as repeated notes. In grade 1A, second and third intervals are again reviewed, and then students learn 4th and 5th intervals. Since time is spent on learning patterns based on these intervals, as well as learning how to move when observing the 8VA and 15MA octave signs, the hand positions they learn are excellent and quite ample. Succeeding at the piano engages the students in all aspects of the principles of learning, and I will discuss these in another video. The video is actually called Succeeding at the Piano, the Principles of Learning. So now let's go on to video 1, Succeeding at the Piano Rhythm, the why and the how. So please subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can get updates on how to refresh and how to engage and how to inspire our students' learning process. Okay, see you later. Aren't you glad that I'm wearing red for Succeeding at the Piano Preparatory Level? So this is the difference between the second edition and the all-in-one approach to succeeding at the piano.